United Lutheran Seminary presents the Seminary Explores podcast, conversations on faith, art, people, politics, theology, life, and more, with voices from around the corner and around the globe.
Good day. My name is Nelson Strobert. Welcome to the Seminary Explores. Today, my guest is Dr. James Thomas, a retired associate professor of worship at Lutheran Theological Seminary of the Lenoir-Rhyne University. Welcome to the Seminary Explores, James.
Nelson, thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get right into our conversation. And I want to know, how did you come to know about and teach at Good News Theological Seminary?
About 9 years ago, I was granted a sabbatical by Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary of Lenoir-Rhyne University. And actually, I was attempting to go to Makamura in Tanzania. But the ELCA pointed me in the direction of Good News Seminary. They seemingly needed some teaching assistance during that year. And so I packed my bags and went to Ghana instead of Tanzania.
Well, how long in advance did you look at or consider this seminary?
I think that it was probably 6 months.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
6 to 8 months, yes.
Okay, and is this a seminary of the Lutheran Church or an ecumenical institution?
Good News was founded in the 1970s, early the 1970s, with the support of Mennonites, Lutherans, but principally by African independent churches. And it is an ecumenical school.
Oh, okay. And from where do the students come? With all these different denominations, I would imagine they come from various parts of the continent.
Yes, they come principally from Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, and Benin.
Okay, and the languages that are used for instruction are English or other languages?
In Ghana, English is the official language, and all instruction in schools from elementary through university is in English.
Oh, okay. And now to get to your teaching responsibilities, what courses did you teach?
Now, that is a tricky one because...
How so?
When you go overseas to teach, you're not always invited to teach in areas where you're credentialed, but you are invited to teach in areas where there is a need. At Good News, I was invited to teach a course in church administration, which is an area that I am credentialed in, but also in early Christian history. But something happened during the semester. The seminary president fell ill, and I was asked to take his two courses, which were Christian beliefs and select theological topics. And I must tell you that that kept me in the library and on my computer almost 24/7.
Well, I would say so, because my next question was going to be, what courses, how did you prepare for your courses? So I can understand you preparing for the two courses that you were assigned initially, but then to be added these other two courses, that would really be a strain on you, I would think.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I received my teaching assignment on my arrival in Ghana. And I had About 2 weeks to get ready for the first course, and that would have been the
Church,
class in church history.
right.
Uh, Fortunately, I had taught that course before the last time I was in Ghana.
Okay.
Uh, and I believe that I had taught something that's similar to church administration. So I was on good footing there. Um, but I took the course outlines that were prepared by the professors who had taught them 1 year before,
Okay.
and I kind of tweaked them a bit uh, because the library resources were already there, and getting books for courses in Ghana can be a tricky affair, if not impossible, if you don't have them there already. So that kind of got me on my way. Using the course outlines that were already expertly developed by professors at Good News
Right.
helped immensely. Yes.
Oh, well, and in addition to teaching your courses, very often, in terms of our U.S. faculties, we're asked to do other things or involved in other aspects of the seminary. Did you have other responsibilities beyond the classroom?
Yes, I would say so. I was kind of an ambassador for the seminary at churches and at church events throughout Ghana. I went to churches to preach and to principally build goodwill for the seminary among supporters and constituents and stakeholders of the seminary. And of course, that again involves preaching, teaching, and talking to groups, or just being present at church assemblies and conventions.
Right.
So that was kind of a weekly responsibility.
Yeah. So you're involved in education on the weekends as well as the weekdays.
Indeed.
Right. And may I ask, you said that you preached at various churches. Now, how did you get to these various congregations? Were you taken, or did you have a car that for your use? How did that take place?
I had a car for my use, but also I got to those places by an assignment. The school selected the venues, the
Right.
places, and introduced me to pastors or church leaders, and we went from there.
Right, and from what you previously said, these churches were of various denominations.
Yes. Now, when we say denominations, it means some of the same here, but a denomination might have 5 to 7 churches there. So we're
Okay.
not talking about huge denominations, or a church like Christ Holy Church of Ghana has over 1 million members. So
Oh
it
my.
could be it could be a larger church. Yes.
Oh, okay. As you moved around the seminary and taught your courses or listened to student conversations, what were some of the theologians students were talking about or studying?
Well, let me just start with this. The students at Good News, in large part, are getting their first formal theological education.
Okay.
They may be older students, but certainly they were also accomplished pastors who had not previously, in many cases, received theological education or credentials. So uh, they didn't come with a lot of theological competence or
Right.
knowledge or background. Many of them or are influenced by some of the contemporary church movements that are afoot in Ghana, indeed in the world today. But that tends to be charismatic movements uh, or other kinds of contemporary theologies. Yes.
Okay, okay. Uh, um, I I know that you posted a number of photos on the computer. I must admit to the listening audience, I do follow Dr. Thomas on Facebook, and I noticed that you posted photos on Facebook, and I was wondering whether you were there places that you intentionally wanted to see for personal, historical, or educational reasons.
One place that I took students to, and this was a group of students who were from Nigeria. There were 9 of them. I took them to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park,
Oh.
which is located in downtown Accra.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is a mausoleum, which is the final resting place of Ghana's first president and Africanist.
Yeah, I
The
remember
park,
him. I remember his time. Yes.
right? The park has a museum that hosts rare artifacts relating to Ghana's independence, and tours of the parks give visitors in-depth history of the sub-Saharan struggle for independence. The students were initially hesitant about going,
Oh,
but
really?
once they were there, I had a hard time dragging them out of there, out of the park.
May I ask what did their anxiety from where did their anxiety come?
Well, the histories of Nigeria and Ghana are very different. And one does not assume that students from Nigeria are going to have a deep understanding of Ghana's history. But once there, the way that museum, it's an interactive museum, is set up, it just kind of draws you in, and that is exactly what happened. They were drawn in and had a very appreciative experience.
Oh, so that must have been enlightening for them.
Yes, it
Right.
was.
Are there were there other places as well that
One other place that we take students is to one or the other slave palaces. The
ah
final exit uh, of slaves through what's known as the door of no return
yes.
to the Americas. And this one is at Cape Coast, and we've taken students there also.
I,
Uh,
I
and the knowledge, there are significant gaps in the knowledge of students from the countries that populate Good News Seminary and events that happen. So it may be that they are learning for the first time what actually happened historically with Africans and the slave trade.
Yeah, I was about to say that I have colleagues from various seminaries who have taken that trip to Ghana and gone to those the door of no return, and that had an emotional impact on American students, particularly African American students. I was wondering what might have been the difference between the two, and you explained that.
Yes.
Oh,
And of course, it would have an emotional impact on anybody with sensitivity. That is just an emotional experience.
indeed. Indeed. And from those trips with your students and other places that you might have gone, how did this stay in Ghana enhance your understanding of the country, even though you'd been there before?
Like other countries in Africa, Ghana faces multiple issues. Its contemporary society is highly influenced by the rapid social and technological changes that are afoot there. But unemployment is a huge problem in Ghana. The rate of unemployment in Ghana in 2020 was 4.70%. The rate of unemployment can be attributed to numerous factors, including the prevailing economic recession, corruption, slow economic growth, and a sharply increasing populations. Again, one of the most pressing social problems in Ghana in 2024 is corruption. I saw while I was there a poster of about 5 to 7 African leaders from various African countries. And I told a colleague whose car I was riding in, I'd like to get that poster. And he said, "What for?" And I said, "Well, it would make a nice wall hanging in my office." He said, "They're nothing but 7 thieves." That is the view of many in sub-Sahara Africa regarding their leaders.
Okay. So it seems that this is not going to go away easily.
No. The other issue is literacy and inaccessibility of quality education. That is a problem in Ghana. In Ghana, the quality of education is lagging far behind the developed world. While there have been a few positive development in the sector, much is desired. And then finally, poverty is a big factor. Forest encroachment and desertification is a problem, and rural urban migration is a huge problem.
Okay. As a faculty member, having been a faculty member here in the United States, what do you see as the benefits of theological faculty's teaching on the African continent?
Dr. Strobert, theological faculties learn more than they will ever teach when they take sabbaticals on the African continent. You will learn far more than you will ever teach. We engage with students who are eager to learn. They really want it.
Mm-hmm.
They come from deficient theological backgrounds, but a wealth of theological understanding. So they're not empty vessels. I don't want to talk about deconstructing and reconstructing understandings, but adding on to what they already know, the significant amount of theological understanding that they have is an important understanding. They're full of faith that is more robust than that, in my opinion, found in many sectors of the United States.
Okay, that's very interesting. Very interesting insight. As you look at your experience and as in the United States and on the African continent, theological education has certainly changed in the United States, particularly after we've gone through the COVID pandemic. And how might theological education, from your vantage point, have changed in terms of technology? So many of our seminaries now are using computers in terms of instruction. Did you find that the case in Ghana as well?
Yes, when I was there 9 years ago, we certainly were not delivering online learning, but we are now. Good News is delivering online learning. But the faculty at Good News is an enhanced faculty. When I was there 9 years ago, only one professor had a PhD. Others had master's degrees
Okay.
in theological education, but now there's a larger number of PhDs on the faculty. The Dean of Studies is a recent graduate, Dr. Humphreys of the Lutheran School of Theology at Philadelphia, and half the faculty at Good News have theological degrees from Lutheran seminaries in the United States, although it's not a Lutheran seminary.
Right.
So that's a great enhancement for that particular school.
Okay. As you reflect again on your experience, how might you have personally changed from having taught that semester?
Oh, well, I think I've already given a clue. I think that I learned far more than I ever thought. I learned to listen more because I had to listen. I'll give you an example. I had some assumptions about Christian Muslim relationship.
Right.
And I could talk about building Christian Muslim relationships, for example, in communities in the United States. But I was unprepared for the vitriol, the actual absolute anger sometimes expressed by Nigerian students toward Muslims in Nigeria, and the hard relationships that Muslims and Christians have in some places in Nigeria that leads to death. Actually,
Okay.
I was just not there, and it was only through listening that I was brought up to speed on how long, the great distance that's going to be traveled toward enhanced Muslim Christian understandings in parts of Nigeria.
Okay, that's certainly an important insight for any of us to learn and to hear. And I can't believe our time is almost up, but I do have one more question, and that is, what issues do you suggest visiting faculties from the United States consider when they're thinking about teaching on the African continent?
Here's one very quickly. Africa is the world's hottest continent. Forget about wearing warm clothing. It's best to purchase clothing there. Be safe. Take recommended medications. Bring medical needs. Get ready for new foods. Religion in Africa is multifaceted. That's something that people want to be aware of. Bring computers and portable printers. Prepare daily learning guides. Lectures will not do. Vary instructions, media, group quick writes, field trips, guest lecturers, Venn diagrams, short papers, homework, quizzes, the kind of stuff we do here.
Okay.
These are some of the things. And remember that Christianity is conservative in Ghana.
Okay, so yeah, so there are differences that one needs to be prepared for when
Yes.
thinking about teaching on the African continent
Yes.
in our seminaries. Well, I can't believe our time is up, but I want to thank you, Dr. Thomas, for sharing your experience teaching in Ghana. I hope that other faculties will take advantage of the opportunity to go beyond the United States to share their knowledge and to learn from others.
Thank you.
Okay. My guest today has been Dr. James Thomas, who is a retired associate professor of worship at Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary of Lenoir-Rhyne University. For the Seminary Explorers, this is Nelson Strobert. Have a good day.
You have been listening to The Seminary Explorers, a production of United Lutheran Seminary with campuses in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We invite you to visit our website at unitedlutheranseminary.edu. All opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of United Lutheran Seminary or the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America.